Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. I have this beast. This is actually a mid to late 1940s television set by Motorola. I even have the instruction manual, which I'll go through. It's pretty neat actually. Even has sort of a look of what the picture will look like. And also what it shouldn't look like. It has a, looks like a, I don't know if this is a warranty card or what. But, so this TV came from my in-laws. They recently moved, sold their house, and they lived in that since the 70s. And they said that when they moved in, this TV was actually in the house. And so, and if they said at one point they actually tried it and it worked. Obviously it doesn't work anymore. You can see the, if you see this stuff, a piece fell out in the back, and this is sort of it's rubbery but hard. And I'm going to guess this was some sort of rubbery substance that sealed the tube to this glass. And it just, after, I mean, we're talking 40, well, no, it's 50, let's say 55, like 75 years. This probably started melting or oozing, and that, I think then it's hardened again. So I'm not sure if I can rescue this. It has an RCA picture tube, but yeah, I wanted to play around with this. When I first saw this, I'm like, oh, I want to hook my QL to it. As you saw, I recently did some videos over the summer, hooking my Amiga to a Sinclair TV80, a small portable that he made, and then also recently my QL to a SCART TV that I found in the US, just to show RGB. So I've been on a little bit of a TV kick, and so now we have this TV, and so I wanted to play around with this a bit, but it's in pretty bad shape. And the thing is, I didn't actually realize it was in bad shape. The reason why, and this is going to be really cool, this TV actually came with an add-on when I first. When I saw it first, and it's this thing right here. Let me show it to you. I don't know if this was an aftermarket add-on, but yeah, it's a magnifying glass that makes the picture bigger, and there's actually, it was screwed into the wood frame, but very odd looking, and again, so you couldn't really see how bad the picture was. It's really heavy, and just sort of comes undone here. Let me just take it off before I break anything. And like I said, it's very heavy. And so what I want to do just today is just take a poke around in it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to fix it. Like this was, when I saw this, I was really disappointed because I don't know if I can take that off. I was reading a little bit of the manual, and they do say be very careful because this is a high vacuum. The tube is under high vacuum, and you wear glasses and gloves because I guess it could shatter, so you have to be very careful. So I'm not sure. Before I read this, I thought maybe I could put some heat on there and have it kind of melt off after I take the front cover off. The front cover might slide down because there are a couple of covers here that might have screws in it. The board is interesting. It actually slides out, and I'll show you how that works. So what I want to do today, I'm not going to turn it on, I'm just going to turn it around and show you what the back looks like and the inside, and we'll just take a quick tour. Again, not sure if I'll be able to fix it. It's a really nice picture of what it actually looked like as a TV, and this is from the 40s, so that's pretty cool. A little portable TV in the 40s, made out of wood. But yeah, and if I can't fix it, I did ask Noel from Noel's Retro Lab. He's not interested in it. But I might, maybe I'll ask Adrian Black from Adrian's Digital Basement. He loves playing with old TVs, so I might send it to him and see if he wants to take a look at it. But for now, I'll take it. I mean, I only want to do so much. The warning, I mean, I've taken TVs apart before, but the warning on this picture tube kind of scares me. And so I want to be very careful about that. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I want to turn this around, come back, and then let's see what... yeah, what the inside looks like. All right, so let's do that. All right, here's what the back looks like. I just peeled this off. This is the I don't know what they call it, but this TV hasn't been on a long time, so I'm not worried about any voltages in here. But that's the RCA picture tube. It turns out this thing actually just slides on out, so let me do that. And it's kind of cool, so slide this out, try not to break anything. Yep. And so I pulled this out before. There's two leads right here that actually just plug into the speaker. And then it's just the picture tube and the speaker left. Now if I rotate this up, you'll see that the way they designed this case, use it very carefully, it's really light now, is that it has an opening on the bottom. And then there's the speaker and there's the tube. So I'm going to leave that alone for now because, again, that kind of freaks me out. But I want to take a look at this, the board. So let me, I'm going to move this to the ground just without breaking it. All right, here's the main board. Like I said, this is the thing that plugs to the back of the picture tube. I forget what that's called. I'm assuming these are capacitors. Obviously, these are vacuum tubes. Some sort of heating element, I think. Again, is this the tuner? Yeah, I don't know enough about modern TVs to see how much different this is. It looks to be like there's some adjustments here too. I was looking at the manual, and the manual does talk about, well, so the back, it has a bunch of adjustments: vertical, horizontal sync, vertical size, vertical hold, horizontal hold, brightness. So it has a lot of the same ones that that's the AC connector, and then the antenna. So that's all on the back. So that's this stuff right here. So that's pretty cool. And then I assume volume, and I don't know what the knobs in the front are, but it looks like volume and channel select and maybe contrast. The buttons weren't there anymore, but and it talks about adjusting and that you want to be very careful. So there's a set of adjustments there, which looks to be on the bottom right there. But so let's I don't want to break anything. Let's turn this over. Maybe let's look on the bottom to see what we got here. I haven't done that yet to see. I don't want to break anything, so I'm going to be very careful. But let's see what we have. This is basically metal. Looks like there's some welding that happened here. But yeah, lots of metal, which is surprising. But what do we have on the back side of this? Wow. Can you see that? Oh my God. That is crazy. Look at that. Wow. That is insane. So this is just a hodgepodge. So this is before circuit boards, I guess. Look at that. It's got, I don't even know what this is. Is this a... Oh, there's some sort of adjustment knob here. But these are all potentiometers. These look like just massive resistors. Oh, and they're very sticky, so... This may not be savable, although I think there are people that do refurbishment. Supposedly you can get these online. They're readily available for like a couple $100. So may not be worth saving it, but just interesting to see the technology from that long ago. So again, I don't... that was how they made TVs back in the 40s. Oh yeah, this looks like it's a channel selector. Volume, and I don't know what that is. Have a few transformers. Oh, and then these are, looks like, I mean, those have to be the capacitors, right? Or, well, those are hooked to tubes. I don't know what that's doing. I don't know what that is. But, yeah, look at that. Holy schmoly. That is just crazy. These are some big resistors. And these are, I mean, should they still work? Resistors are passive, right? Yeah, actually some normal sized resistors too. Look at that. So it's not all these massive things, but you know what that is. So, but look at that. Oh, wow. It's like this insanity. How did somebody even design that and just decide, literally just solder everything together and hook it, and you'll have a TV. That's crazy. Look at that. Holy cow. What I want to know is what are these? Oh, I think they're just screwed in, but they seem to have some dials going on. And look at that though. Holy cow. That is crazy. Huh? Right, this would be one heck of a reclamation project. I mean, again, I don't know enough about electronics to know how, like, this is very sticky. I mean, these are just plain old resistors, but I don't know what these big things are. Obviously you have vacuum tubes too. I don't know how well they are. And what are these capacitors maybe this size? I don't know what they're supposed to do. I guess we can look at let's look at this. So, horizontal, vertical, and focus. So this is focus. Horizontal, vertical. And it's funny that the horizontal center and vertical center, these have actually plastic knobs and these are metal. Is there a reason for that? And then these are the ones that are connected to those big, again. So I'm not sure what they were, oh, so it looks like there are, yeah. So if you look, you may recall on the other side, there's a whole set of, I think these are things you can adjust. Oh yeah, there are screws on the bottom. So this is probably, I think looking at the manual, this is whether you do the channel adjustments for all the 13 channels that this can take. Again, I don't want this to fall, so let me hold that. It talks about the channel adjustments, and I think it's gotta be, yeah, I think that's what these are, channel adjusters, because this is obviously the tuner. So, wow, look at that. This is just amazing. I don't know if I don't know what the lighting is, so I'll figure it out in editing, but I don't want to bend it too much because they're these massive, I think they're capacitors, and I don't want to break them because I actually don't want to break anything on this. But so question to my viewers, do you think this would be safe that if so what I could do is I could try to clean up the picture tube and take that apart carefully, wear safety glasses and gloves like they say to do in here. There's a note here about the CRT cathode. Well, it's right here, cathode ray tubes, and it says care should be exercised so as not to strike the large end of the tube against any object. Do not subject. Yeah, it says should it be necessary to replace the cathode ray tube in this set, be sure to wear safety goggles and heavy glasses when doing so. Keep the tube away from body while handling it. Cathode ray tube encloses a high vacuum and due to its large surface area is subject to considerable air pressure. For these reasons, it must be handled with more care than ordinary receiving tubes. Yeah, so that kind of scares me a little bit. Again, the tube's not in this, so this is just all electronics. And there's no power to it, so I'm not really worried about that either. The power, I think, goes into here. But, I mean, it's just kind of frightening to even try to turn this on because it's like, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. But I guess this was I just can't even think about people making this stuff thinking like this was a good idea. But I guess if you never thought of a circuit board, but even a breadboard, you'd think they'd have a breadboard in the 1940s. I mean, they made the atom bomb. I mean, if this is the technology used, wow. That is, I mean, the fact that there's no shorts here is just shocking as well. Yeah, so that's a tour of the inside. I don't see anything else. There's a couple of transformers. I don't know what these things do. And then you have lots of resistors. And again, are these capacitors? They seem to be, they seem to have to store something, right? They can't just be resistors. Oh, these look like reefer caps. Did they have the scourge back then as well? Most of these parts I can identify, but not all of them. But yeah, just a fantastic fantastic looking beast. I mean, again, if I can fix the picture tube and this all looks okay, I mean, the resistors here are fine. I'm not comfortable with the fact that these are sticky, but I don't know if that means that they leaked. So I guess if they're capacitors, that just means they won't work. But what else? Or is that just an outside covering that it has? This one's especially sticky. These are just kind of, but these are much better. But that one, this is shiny, this is sticky. So I'm just curious to understand what those are, and if, 1940s, are they like 1980s caps that Adrian always talks about that are still good? All right, this is the front of the unit. So you've got, those are just screws. So there's nothing special here. Assume these are capacitors. This looks like this would glow, so I'm not touching that. Any idea what that is? It doesn't have very many vacuum tubes, so that's interesting. But these are the things I think that help adjust the channels. You do them from the other side. This is the speaker wires, and they plug straight into the speaker, so it's kind of modular. There's not much else to it. Again, this goes to the back of the picture tube. It is keyed, so you can't screw that up. But I think the first thing I was going to do is just clean it, because it can't hurt to carefully clean it. Maybe just soap and water, nothing too. It's funny. It looks like here that they painted the they've painted the copper, so I guess it makes it not conductive, and then the rest is conductive. I mean, why is it a fire? Helps reduce fire, but why make it conductive material? That's what I don't understand. But yeah, this definitely has a huge ground plane. But that is the 19, I believe I read somewhere, maybe it's 47, it's after 45, I think. It's the VT-71 series table model television receiver, and it's Golden View television from Motorola. Yeah. And I'll find out online exactly what it is. I think I've read somewhere. Unfortunately, there isn't a date on this little pamphlet. And my hands are dirty now, so I don't want to make it worse. Trying to not destroy too much of it. But so yeah, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this, and then the picture tube, I got to figure out if I can take the front plastic shield off. I think it might slide down, and then I have to see if I can't attack this. I don't know. Yes, it does break. Oh, look, it is gooey. But I'm wondering, what can I use to re-gooify this so that I can get it off the rest of the TV, because obviously I don't want to break the tube by having to sort of chisel this off. But maybe if I add some heat, maybe from a hair dryer, maybe that'll soften up. So I'll experiment with this piece. And then, yeah, I'll see if I can't. I mean, if I can get the picture tube cleared out, clean all this up, and all I have is some sticky external parts of it, I don't know what it is, I will definitely plug this in, step away, flick the switch, and see if the picture tube comes on or not. It's the best you can do, right? It's still a ways away, but I don't mind giving this a clean. Again, if it's broken and I can't fix it, I'll reach out to Adrian Black of Adrian's Digital Basement to see if he has any interest in it. But yeah, this was kind of a cool find. Again, from my in-laws, they said it came with the house, so probably the owners they bought it from maybe bought the TV in the 40s, and and I said, I think my father-in-law said he turned it on at one point and it worked. But so I thought it was recently when I finally took it and looked at it and took the lens off. I was really disappointed to see this goop all over the place. But I think I'm going to end here. I don't have anything else to show you other than this really cool 1940s technology. The dream is getting this to work, renovating this without killing myself, and then hooking the QL to it. You know, having a 1983, 84 machine hooked to a 1940-ish television, which is interesting if you think about it. This television separates from the QL as much as the QL separates from today, right? 39 years versus 37 years. So that's kind of interesting, right? So technologies, using an older technology to run a modern computer. Anyway, I'll end here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.